Reform UK's Deputy Leader Richard Tice argues that scrapping Ed Miliband's net zero madness, as he describes it, could save every household in the UK around £1,000 a year and preserve 1 million industrial jobs. Yes, 1 million. Mr Tice says net zero is a dream Britain simply can't afford, and it comes, of course, a new poll from Nowcast that projects Reform UK would win a majority for the first time, as reports suggest Labour is pushing rural voters to the arms of the likes of Tice and Nigel Farage. Well, I'm joined now by the man himself, the Deputy Leader of Reform UK, Richard Tice. Richard, good evening. Thanks for your company. I'll talk about that poll with you very shortly. I'm sure you're pleased as punch with it. But first of all, I was reading your piece today about Ed Miliband and the deranged march to net zero. Why do you feel so strongly about this, and where do you get sort of your facts and data from? Because they'd accuse you of just talking nonsense.
Good evening. I feel so strongly about this because the catchphrase of the moment is alarm and distress. And let me tell you, 30 million households are alarmed and distressed at the size of their electricity bills, which have soared in recent years in direct link to the growth in renewable energy generating capacity. And I want the alarm and distress to be on the renewable investors and developers that are lying to the British people, that are conning the British people about what's going to happen to our bills. Because they said, and Ed Miliband said at the election, and ever since, the bills are going to come down. Well, they're not. Everybody knows the bills are going up. They're higher than they were last July. And the forecast that I've seen are that the bills are going to go ever higher. And over the next couple of weeks, there's a new thing called an auction round. Allocation rounds number 7, where the renewable investors and developers are going to bid their contracts. And there's a new price that's been set of £113 per megawatt hour, about 11% higher than the price last year. But given that it's now a 20-year contract, not a 15-year contract, actually it's about £125 a megawatt hour. It's about 25% more than last year. If you roll this forward, this is going to be about £1,000 per household increase in bills for 2030. And I'm alerting the British people to this impending disaster. I was in a meeting with one of Britain's leading industrialists just last Tuesday, who told me that over 1 million industrial jobs are in peril in this parliamentary term. On Friday, I was up at the Lindsey Oil Refinery with workers there. 5,000 jobs, direct and indirect, are in peril in northeast Lincolnshire, primarily because of the cost of energy. Okay. And this ludicrous net zero, I call it net stupid zero. And that's why we're going to war with it. We are going to war with these eco-zealots.
OK, I'm going to bring in former Labour Minister Bill Rammell in just a second. But Richard, first of all, you said you wrote to, in this piece online, you said you wrote to wind farm developers and so on, warning them to stay away from these AR7 auctions that Ed Miliband is spearheading. You said that a reform government would make them regret it. What does that mean exactly? How would you make them regret it?
We put them on notice that all options are on the table. They're conning the British people. We're not going to tolerate it. And no government can bind a future government with these sort of contracts when it is such an egregious lie. So I'm saying to them, you invest at your peril. You will probably lose money and assume that all bets are off when we win the next general election. Invest in nuclear, invest in gas, invest in oil and gas. But if you invest in offshore renewables and try and rip off the British people, we're on the side of the British people, and we will cause you alarm and distress.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney? Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind the more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
OK, you did just say when you win the next general election. I'll talk about that poll in just a second. But first of all, Bill Rammell, anything to say on Richard Tice here? He's taking a flamethrower to Ed Miliband and the march to net zero.
He is. And I think the question, Richard, is who's the ideological zealot here? I support the move to renewables because they're cheaper and more secure
they're not
than fossil
cheaper,
fuel
Bill.
energy. But hold on. If you're so right, why are you so out of touch on this issue with public opinion? The last poll I saw showed 70% support for net zero with just 20% of people opposed. If it's as clear cut as you suggest, why aren't people with you?
Let me tell you, Bill, I knock on doors all over the country and people are alarmed and distressed at the size of the cost of living. And all of the cost of living is driven by the uncompetitiveness caused by the rise in energy bills, which is driving up everything. And they're furious at the destruction of jobs, whether it's Port Talbot, whether it's Luton, whether it's Grangemouth, whether it's the Lindsey oil refinery, the destruction of jobs, the deindustrialisation of the British economy. That is what is concerning people. And Bill, when are the bills going to come down? Could you speak on behalf of the Secretary of State for Net Zero? When are the bills coming down, Bill?
But Richard, answer the question. You answer the question. You poo-pooed that poll. So that poll showing 3-to-1 support for net zero, that's wrong, is it?
Bill, you've got a simple question. When are the bills coming down? Answer
Over the
me.
course of this Parliament, which was the commitment in the manifesto.
And if you're wrong?
Well, I don't think I will be wrong, but you're not answering the question.
Will you apologise to the British people?
Why that poll showing 3-to-1 support for net zero, is it just wrong?
OK.
Yes, it's completely wrong. Let me tell you, I don't know who's done that poll. I'm in touch with real people on the ground, and I tell you what, they're raging furious about this madness.
Richard, let's talk about another poll. The Nowcast update. Reform projected to win a majority for the first time. 332 seats, taking 30% of the vote, pretty much. I mean, are you and Nigel Farage and so are you sparking up cigars tonight and getting the port out?
I don't smoke and I don't drink port, Ben, but we were just working hard. We're rolling our sleeves up. We're getting stuck in. And we're talking throughout the whole of August about law and order, society breaking down. You've been touching on it on your show, but also the cost of living. And it's all driven by the cost of energy. And we're highlighting this. And if I can stop every household from suffering an extra increase of up to £1,000 per year on their energy bills, then I think I've done the country a great service, and that's the objective.
OK, Richard, we've got about a minute left, unfortunately. What's the biggest challenge? What's the biggest hurdle to Reform and your colleagues to winning Parliament? You're topping all the polls for months and months. What do you see as the biggest challenge? What is putting you at risk of falling off the wagon?
We're not going to fall off the wagon. We'll just keep working hard, keep pushing on, and I think at the end of the day, if the economy continues in this direction and energy prices keep going up and illegal immigration continues, then we will win the next general election. Look, if the Labour Party turn this economy around and start generating GDP growth of 2% a year, then we might all be in a different place. Let's wait and see.
All right, so basically, in a nutshell, you don't really have to do much. Just watch Labour implode, you're suggesting.
Well, we want to put forward credible policies that will make people more prosperous again and will improve our society, will improve law and order, will stop the boats and stop mass, low-skilled, cheap immigration that's suppressing British wages.
All right, Richard, really appreciate your company on a Saturday night. I'm sure you had better things to do than speak to me.
I think it's Sunday.
Sunday night, sorry, there we go. It's been a long weekend. Our viewers appreciate it, though. Thank you. Richard Tice, Deputy Leader of Reform UK. It is Sunday, yes. That's a nice surprise for me.